call the meeting to order. If I can ask our Rabbi Emeritus, Kenneth Roseman, with Congregation of Israel, we're so happy you're here to say our invocation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, members of council, distinguished members of our first responder groups, we're happy to have you here this morning, members, and of course, citizens, which is probably the highest title anybody could have. There's a television ad for a car company that I won't name that concludes with the following sentence: "You are what you leave behind." Their laudable intention is to encourage visitors to our national parks to pick up and properly dispose of their trash. It's commendable for this company to urge us to be environmentally responsible and to leave the wonders of the Grand Canyon, the Tetons, and our beaches pristine and immaculate. How could anyone find fault with this? But let us try to apply this adage to the work of government. You are what you leave behind. I know that President Obama is very conscious of the legacy he will leave after his 8 years in office. What he will leave behind will inevitably be the record that historians will use to evaluate the importance and effectiveness of his 2 terms. Similarly, the present 2 houses of Congress will leave something behind, but it is likely to be more reminiscent of what John Maynard Keynes said about trickle-down economics. The horses are fed the finest oats, and you hope there is something left on the sidewalk for the sparrows. What the City Council leaves behind, both as individuals and as a collective whole, is equally subject to scrutiny and judgment. In some cities, in some municipalities, one finds rampant corruption, graft and favoritism, incompetence, failed services, bureaucratic obfuscation and delay, overcrowded and unsanitary jails, homelessness and substandard slum housing. Even when conscientious and well-meaning officials simply tolerate the persistence of these conditions, any fair evaluation of municipal government might note a legacy of paralysis in the face of wrangling for political advantage and avoiding the assumption of active responsibility for remedying social ills. But there are also cities where the opposite heritage is left behind, where government really does work for the betterment of the citizenry, and where partisan differences are set aside in favor of the greater civic good. It is altogether possible to leave behind a legacy of progress and effective delivery of services. So isn't that the real question? What will you leave behind when you vacate these chairs? It will define you. You will be known by what you leave behind. And every decision you make adds to that record. I won't conclude with the word Amen, because that word signifies finality, and your work is still in progress. So what will be the legacy that you leave behind?
Thank you, Rabbi Roseman. If I can ask for